Good morning, everybody. We're taking a look at 2 Samuel 18. We see here that the army of Absalom and the army of David, they come in, they do battle, and David's army wins, and his son Absalom, he ends up dying. Now, David tried to protect him in this, and he told everybody, I do not want that boy hurt. And who wouldn't do that for their child? I don't have a child yet, but I'm sure I would react the same way. David, taught this man, and when David brought him up, and David did his best as a father, and I bet who as a parent doesn't want their child to do well and doesn't and wants to bring them up in a way that they're responsible and all of this stuff. And David tries to protect him, even though Absalom is trying to take everything of David's. David is still protecting him as a good parent. And I think that's a great picture of what God himself is. Even though at times we do everything we can, just to run away or just to be against him, yet he still tries to protect us. But it's our choices that result in consequences. Our choices will either result in blessings or curses. They result in favor or consequence. That's our choices. And Absalom made his choices, and he had to deal with the repercussions of those choices. And I like to think how my mother, how she brought me up, and she always taught me to be independent, and because she didn't want me to be like her, and she was always very dependent on everybody for everything. She didn't drive. She was an only parent to 4 kids. You know, um, it was just very hard on her. She depended on other people for so much stuff, including my grandmother. My grandmother moved in to help. I was raised by my mom and my grandmother, and but my mother always taught me to be independent. And that it's one of those things that you just I just learned from her. That's how she brought me up. And I see the Lord, how he's trying to bring me up, from a baby, who was just on the milk of the word, to someone who is now, understanding more and more, and being able to practice being a Christian more and more. And the Lord just, I look at how he's bringing me up, and it's just really cool. But to see David here just try to protect his son, and it just brings comfort to my eyes, knowing that God tries to do that for us. He really does. He tries to protect us, just as you would try to protect your children. So I love you all. I hope you have a super day, and please stay in God's protection. Stay under the umbrella of his Holy Spirit. Walk with him and talk with him. Let him lead you. Ciao.